Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. Alright, let's get started. After I find my mirror. I always seem to lose that thing. I thought it better. So first we're going to do brows, so I'm going in with my Instant Lift brow pencil. I'm using the 3x magnification on the back to really make sure I get in my brows. Oh, dang. Anyways, so I have the shade Taupe. So now I'm going to bump down to the 5x. To make sure I do my brows right. So actually, while I'm doing my brows, I'm going to talk a little bit and back up to this ×3 to diffuse that. So I'm going to tell you something. Yesterday, I started to realize how bad or how thick one area was and how thin the other was, and it just didn't look right to me. So I'm gonna fix that today. We're just outlining the rest of my brow. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it first and tell you what I'm doing first. We're doing it. And that's better. So when it's even like this, it looks much better. And my grandparents had noticed it last night, so they're like, you need to fix that. I'm like, I'm sorry. Then I looked in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. They were so right. It didn't look right. So, no, I'm fixing it. Which, yes, does use more pencil, but it's fine. These are $3. Who cares if I go through them quickly? I mean, I'm not repurchasing one and getting another one too. I go to get my pregnancy safe makeup. But here's the thing with that. I want to do high-end and drugstore for my that series on my channel and do and like talk about it. But here's the thing. Most of the high-end primers, okay? I'm also probably gonna conceal my brows too. I did like that. So do a little bit of brow gel, then conceal. So, anyways, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do high-end in drugstore. So the primers are probably just gonna all be drugstore because most of the stuff that's safe for high-end primers are discontinued. So it's like drugstore primers the rest of the way. High-end, besides brow pencils. I might get a few high-end brow pencils, depending. So brows are looking colored, filled in, whatever you want to call it. So now I'm gonna go into the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer to set these down. And I'm using my brow and lash wand. So 3 times magnification again. And now the other side. And that will be used again later in the tutorial. Now, for the concealing part. I'll let my brows dry. And then I'm just going to take the applicator and put it on. So there's going to be a little bit of mixture of concealer and eyeshadow primer. I'm sorry, there just is. Alright, I feel like that's dry enough. So I'm going into the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer in the shade Ivory Rose. Now this is the nice thing about doing makeup all the time. And I need another brush. I'm gonna use this flat top brush here to blend that. And whatever is left on the brush, I'm gonna go to the front, kind of box my brows in. With the concealer. Too bad I don't use concealer as eyeshadow primer anymore, because this would have been perfect. But the nice thing is, the eyeshadow primer doesn't really have color. So it's not like it's gonna change the color of the concealer. So again, taking this brush, blend it out. And the nice thing is, this kind of stops me from getting foundation in my brows too. Yeah. So, let that dry. Now I'm gonna do my eyeshadow primer. I'm using the Milani eyeshadow primer. Alright, now I'm doing the other side. Using the concealer is kind of like making it hard to do this, but I'm making it work. Um, my eyes are getting like crusties. I don't have pink eye or anything, I know that. But it's just like every once in a while I get like crusties in my eyes and stuff and not have pink eye. It's weird, but it's because I have so many allergies. Well, we're letting that sit. I'm gonna go into the L'Oreal Hydra Genius. So I forgot to. Today I think I'm gonna squirt it straight on my face. So, because moisturizer really helps with a foundation and powder and stuff looking cakey. So it's not gonna get too cakey on my face. Essentially what I'm trying to say. Even though I'm not really putting anything down here, I'm just putting this down. I should use some eye cream too. No, I don't have any eye cream besides what I got in the Ipsy package, but that stays in the Ipsy package. Unless I really need it. So I'm gonna allow that to sit while we work on the eyes. So again, I'm going into the L'Oreal Lip Palette Nude. I'm taking my angled crease brush from Equal Tools, and I'm taking the first two shades. And a little bit of the last shade. Really making my eyes pop today. Really making them pop. So today, instead of putting shimmer on my eyes, like the darker shade on the outer crease and the shimmer on the inner corner, I'm going to do two different shades on the inner corner. There are two different shades on the lid. So, my eyes are very pigmented. They're very popped and very irritated. Like my bottom lash right here is like irritated today. Alright. So now go into the crease brush. This is where I'm gonna need the blending brush. And I'm gonna need the other one. Alright, so I'm gonna need a little bit of the Wet n Wild one. So I'm going into the third shade in the L'Oreal palette. The shade right here. To start my crease. I'm going back and forth, trying to really hide that concealer, apparently, which is fine. That is totally fine if I do hide that concealer on the bottom part of my brow. Because I didn't really want the bottom part showing through anyways. I just wanted the top part showing through. Very pretty, very pigmented. Ouch. Now I'm going into Fright. Which is a little darker than this first shade, which is what we want. But we still want it to blend together. These shades are very pigmented on their own. So it's like very hard to tell if the Milani eyeshadow primer is working or not because they're very pigmented on their own. So it could be a mixture of the eyeshadow primer and the fact that they're pigmented, or it could just be the fact that they're pigmented. Alright, now I'm going to take my Wing Me blending brush. Let's see. Guess I didn't get all that shade off. Oops. Oh well. We can fix this. Actually, I don't think it needs fixed. It looks cute. Let's just add a little bit more of this third shade on the lid. Just to really hide that mistake. Now I'm gonna take this detailed brush. I'm gonna go into the sixth shade in the palette, which is this one right here. So, taking this, blending it into the shade, crease, sorry, the crease. So since I'm not using the shimmer, I'm just gonna use this detailed brush, the whole lid. Very dark, but we can fix it. It's a little dark, but we can fix that. Now I'm wiping anything that's on my brush on the back of my hand to clean it off for the next shade. Blend, 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 blend. Blending, blending, blending. And then blending, blending, blending on this side. And this is why I like this magnification, because then it shows me where I need to blend more, which that looks fine. So now we're gonna take the detailed, maybe the detailed brush, go into the shade right next to it, with this, which is the fifth shade in the palette, just a little bit more lighter. So the transition between the light and the dark will work. Would look really freaking pretty. Maybe. There we go. That looks so pretty. Not something I would normally do with my makeup, but it definitely looks better than it normally does. And clean off any excess of that. Alright. We're not done with eyeshadow. No, we don't need that brush anymore. Alright, so I'm going to take my angled brush here. I'm going to go into the mixture of the first two shades. Which is very, very shimmery. And going to emphasize that brow arch. With these two shades. So let's get these two shades done first. See? And then I'm going into the last shade, which I also used on my lid, my crease and lid, and going underneath the front of my brow, right before the arch, and kind of blending the the three shades together. Yay! Now we're done with that. I should have. Yeah. Oh, very so. I don't know, like that song's stuck in my head now. Alright, so now we're gonna do eyeliner really quick and then we're gonna clean up the under eye. So I'm going into the Nightmare Before Christmas liquid liner. You leaving again?
Yeah. I'm gonna go down there and check the call. See if he's out. They went in to save it. LS.
Mm. I love you too. Have fun.
One more try.
Alright. Not really loving it just because it's thicker. And you probably already heard me say this a couple times. I'm starting to not really like thick eyeliner anymore. I'm starting to like thinner eyeliner. It's kind of hard to get without like a pen, but that's what I like. The pen liner, not really a thin liner. It's the pen liners, not brush liners anymore. I don't like these kind of eyeliners anymore. So do I always do the uneven? This part of the eyeliner can be even, like the part on the eyeball can be even. Sort of. I mean, who's judging? And I am hungry. I don't know what it is. Alright, so now I'm gonna get a makeup wipe out here. There we go. Ta-da! Alright, and then I'm gonna use probably my last bit of this correcting pen, so I gotta get more today. I'm not doing another tutorial until I get another one. Really working on my under eye today. Yep, it's gonna be my last bit. I'm not doing another tutorial until I get another one. So hopefully I can get one today. But the mixture between a makeup wipe, which I gotta get more like makeup wipes anyways, and this thing, perfect. I love it. I loves it. I loves it. I loves it. just trying to play a work at it. And there is my last bit of the makeup pen used up. So this is now in empties. Here you go. Alright, my under eyes are all cleaned off from all the fallout. Yay! Alright. Now, I can do primers. So the first primer is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with 4% niacinamide. This one I'm just gonna squirt right onto my face. So this one I'm also using ×3 magnification to make sure I am really precise with the application. Oh, and trust me when I say this. It seems like exfoliating my face, cleaning out my pores more. And all that jazz. It's really making my pores more noticeable. Because when I would wear makeup, before doing all that, it'd be fine. Like, I would still notice my pores a little bit. But not to the point where, I could tell it was my pores. Now, it's like, where did these come from? Like, I can use the Maybelline one. The Maybelline primer. And it'd still be that way. Like, the Maybelline primer helps a little bit, but not a whole lot. And it, like, sucks. I mean, I also gotta shave my face. I got these new face razors to try to help with my thingy majigger. Alright, so I think I'm gonna color correct first before going in with the Maybelline. See if this helps. So I'm going into the Neutrogena Prep and Correct Redness Correcting Primer. And again, I'm just gonna squeeze that onto my face. Take some of this and go over here. Take some of that and go right here. Look at this. like, I guess it helps now that my redness from irritating my skin with that chemical peel is gone. This is almost an empty. So now we're gonna let that set. Oh my gosh, why do these tutorials get so long? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to make them shorter. Now I'm gonna go into a little bit of the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. Squeeze in a little on my face. And blending it out. It might be because it's too thick too. So I really gotta work on blending it. Or maybe I don't let it sit long enough. Now I'm gonna learn on the other side. It's a little too much, but it's okay because I also got it at my chin. Like here, it looks like they're blurred. But here soon, once I start the foundation process, they will be noticeable in my makeup. Like I said, peeling the exfoliant stuff just makes my pores more noticeable. Which sucks, but it's fine. Alright, so while we let that soak in, I'm going into the e.l.f. Suntouchable Whoa Glow SPF 30. Kind of hard to put this just directly on the skin. So I put a little bit of my fingers, and now we apply. A little does go a long way. I'm just really blending it, blending it, blending it, blending it. Blend, 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 blend. Oh, man. That's so weird. And so the e.l.f. Whoa Glow and the L'Oreal work fine together. Not as glowy as Whoa Glow and the Halo Glow. But that's because the L'Oreal is more a natural glow. So it's not going to be as glowy as the my nose itches. I got a little too much out. So I'm gonna put some here and then put some down here. So I guess I am putting something on my nose. Now, I'm going in that neck too. Today I'm not gonna wear eyeliner in my waterline because yesterday it got very irritating. Ah! What? My cat Camo is freaking staring at me. What is your problem? Why do you have a staring problem all the freaking time? She does. All the time. She's staring at one of us. Don't you even think about it, woman. I like when Uncle Jeff's here. I really like when Uncle Jeff's here now. Just never let me catch him chasing my cats with a broom. I think it's just the amount of glowy products I had on my face yesterday. Alright. This is gonna get annoying because where I'm almost out of this product, the Limic Lotion from L'Oreal. I don't know if I mentioned it, I'd always using that. But since I'm almost out of it, it like every time I go to squeeze it, I have to shake it. they still look pretty blurred to me. I think it was just the amount of glowy products I had on my face yesterday. And the fact that I also had glitter, like straight up glitter on my face. So today I'm not doing that. What I should do, just go ahead and squeeze it out everywhere else I need. It takes a while to use that product up for some reason. A lot of the time, like most of the time that I'm using that product, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use it up this time. You. But it's also because I don't use it a lot when I squirt it out. I'm gonna make a glowy concealer, apparently. Alright. Now we're gonna let that dry and sink into the skin. And then we'll get into my cream products. I'm gonna use this sponge for my blush since I forgot to keep the brush out. So I'm just gonna blend it with the sponge completely. Alright. So that's dried down. So now we're gonna do cream bronzer, which is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Concealer in the shade Espresso. Like, look at this. I'm using 3x3 magnification on everything because it helps me make sure that I blended everything correctly. I'm not gonna do anything on my forehead today. Or no, yes I am. But first I'm doing my jawline. Because like I said yesterday, or whenever I filmed that full face of my favorite products, I do have a double chin, and this really helped to make it less noticeable. And I'm gonna be pale again. I'm gonna look pale as hell again. But anyways, yeah. I know my face is pretty bronzed right now. I'm sorry for the extreme bronziness, but damn, my head itches again. So, alright. Like I said, I'm not doing a cream highlighter. I'm just doing cream bronzer and cream blush, which the cream blush is the Wet n Wild lip and cheek color. I'm gonna keep that out. This is pretty matte. This lip and cheek color is pretty matte, but not drying. Alright, from now on, with this, I'm just gonna go ahead and use a sponge to blend it out. Using a sponge is like quite easier. Alright, now foundation time. I'm going into the Milani Conceal and Perfect. You know what? I got an idea. I gotta text my fiance again. My face is gonna get pretty irritated if I do this video. But I gotta do what I gotta do to be able to make it. Oh my god. I can put a little bit on like the tip of my nose. Like right there. But anyways, I will tell you my idea. I was thinking about any foundation, concealer, or blush, because I got this idea. I'm getting this idea from a YouTuber, or more a professional makeup artist slash YouTuber. She does the same things, like trying all the different drugstore foundations. Well, here's the thing. Some of the foundations she tries, I have already tried. So it's like, what's the point? of doing all the ones I've tried and know I love instead of just getting a some new ones and finding what else I love. So that's what I'm gonna do. Um, another thing with me doing this, you know what? I should do primers, foundations, concealers, bronzers, and blushes that I haven't tried. I mean, it's kind of hard though when the person you're watching doesn't use primer a lot. Kind of hard, but I think I'll just do foundations, concealers, and bronzers. So now I'm going into the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer in Ivory Rose. Why it's called that, I do not know. What is this? But I gotta ask my fiance if I can do that, and then just worry about the pregnancy safe when I do get pregnant. I can now see what I'm typing. I just at the end text him TYP. Oh my, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. So I'm taking my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. I'm like blending this out the best I can. So, and then I'm gonna use the sponge to press it in. Oh, lucky, that actually worked. So I did text my fiance. Hopefully he texts back soon and says I can do it. I mean, it takes a while for this lippy to fully dry down. But you know, once it does, it works. And it definitely stays. Now I'm going into the Airspun powder. Do not judge me on this. Alright, it's not as nauseating now that it's blended onto the skin. Like mixing all the formulas together. And I mean, this right here could help me with that video. Because she just tries them back to back. She doesn't, how do I put this? She doesn't actually try to set them and see how they set. I mean, honestly, who would, though? No, we'll do what she does, tries them back to back. So I gotta learn how to edit my videos. Before then. So there's gonna be a lot of editing because it's like. But here's the thing. Alright. I say this. But I'm also going to try them in different videos too. So whatever ones I'm keeping, you know, after the first impressions, I mean, I try not to judge a book by its cover. I mean, look at this powder. Still giving it a chance. So what I mean by what I'm saying is I'm gonna give the foundation 2 chances. Going to do that one video, or all 3 categories, 2 chances. The one in the video and each tutorial after that, I'm going to um what's it called? I'm gonna try a different foundation, different blush, whether it's cream or powder. You know, feel like he's still driving. Nope. He's at LS now. Anyways, I was gonna put something on my lower lash line today, and I was gonna do lips, but I'm not doing lips either. I'm going into the Wet n Wild Blush Lighter palette, taking my new blush brush that blends these together perfectly. Like one more. The reason I'm doing it too young. Okay. Then I got my buffing brush here as well. Really buff it into the skin. Man, oh man. I forgot to set my lip. Anyways, yay! Alright, so this is pretty much the finished look. I do have to set it when I get downstairs. But I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye!